Hello, everyone. I'm Robin, and thank you for joining me today. I hope that you're having an amazing day. I just wanted to give you guys some insight about some things that you should and should not do if you choose to register with a staffing agency, or if you know someone who has plans to register with an agency. Please be sure to share this valuable content with them as well. Please stay tuned. Okay, so again, welcome everyone. We're going to be talking about how to properly register with a staffing agency. The first thing that you need to do is research. So every staffing agency specializes in a particular industry such as sales and marketing, accounting, human resources, management, legal, or IT careers. It is important for you to know this so that you can register with the agency that offers positions in your field of expertise. Once you have decided on which staffing agency that you are interested in, you should check to see if they have a website. If so, this will be very beneficial so that you can view the current openings and see if there is an option to complete an online registration form with the agency. If you are able to complete the online registration form, be sure to follow up with the agency to confirm that they received it. Be sure to ask when you should expect to hear from someone in reference to an interview to complete the registration process. Ask what documents are needed. If there is not an option to register online, or if you are not able to register online, call the agency to schedule an appointment to apply with them. Prior to the interview, these are some things you need to keep in mind prior to going to the interview. Make sure your resume is up to date with your most recent employer and correct contact information. If you do not have a resume, be sure to prepare one prior to the interview. This is very important. There are ways to prepare a resume online without paying a fee. Be sure to have several copies of your resume with you during the interview if attending in person. If the interview is via conference call or virtual, have the electronic copy saved and ready to send if needed. The resume is necessary for several reasons. This shows that you are serious about the job search and you have taken the time to prepare for the interview. The resume provides insight about your work expertise, education, skill set, and etc. At this point, the interviewer can quickly review the resume and search for key things and ask the necessary questions to go to the next phase of the registration process, which is getting you matched with the right client and placed in the right position. The agency will use this resume to submit your application for positions with their clients. First impressions. Be sure to dress professionally for the interview. Even if the interview is virtual, be sure to dress up. For a conference call, this would necessarily apply due to the fact that no one will be able to see you. People tend to take for granted that registering with a staffing agency, you don't have to dress up, and this is so far from the truth. Staffers take into consideration your appearance when you interview with them. I will provide more insight about this later. These tips are very important because the staffer is in the process of formulating a story about you to be able to sell you to the client. So from your appearance, resume, interview skills, verbal communications, and overall presentation will help the staffer to determine many things about you. Additional documents: driver's license, state identification, social security card, passport, birth certificate. Be sure to have at least 2 of these documents listed on hand during the interview. unless you have been directed by the staffing agency to provide other documents or no documents at all. Emergencies. In the event that there is an unexpected emergency, be sure to notify the staffing agency as soon as possible. The actual interview. Make sure that you are early or on time for your interview. Have paper and pen to take notes. Have a list of questions that you may have so that you can ask them at the end of the interview. During the interview process, listen very carefully to the information given to you. When asked questions, do not talk excessively. Answer the questions and keep in mind that you have a limited time for the interview. Be sure to thank the staffer at the end of the interview and ask for their contact information and the best way to reach them if they haven't already provided this information. Make sure you are clear about the job classifications. Direct hire opportunities. You will be paid by the client that you work for and not by the staffing agency. Temp to perm positions. You will work for a certain time period and will transition to permanent status if successfully completing the requirements set in place for the position during that time frame. Now, meaning work the required hours according to the contract that the client has with the staffing agency and any other miscellaneous requirements, if any. I highly suggest that if you are in a position like this, that you follow up on a regular basis with the staffer or your direct supervisor at the work location to get an update about you transitioning to permanent status. That way, you can keep abreast on how you're doing and if improvements need to be made so that you can be considered for permanent placement. Temp position. You will work for the client for a short period or a long period of time with no chance of the position going permanent. Now, this could change if the client decides to change the status of the position. Placement. Now, if you accept an assignment with the staffing agency, there are some things that you need to understand. It is important for you to inform the staffer of any upcoming appointments or scheduled vacations so the staffer can inform the client. Report to work on time as scheduled. Excessive absenteeism is never good and will be taken into consideration as to if you will be placed in the position permanently. It is your responsibility to make sure that your time sheets and your time submittal is entered in a timely manner so that there will be no delay with your payment. While you are on assignment, your direct supervisor or supervisors report your job performance to the staffer on a regular basis. Keep in mind that while on assignment, some of the regular employees may have more flexibility to do certain things because of their tenure. Now, this will not apply to you unless the client gives you permission to partake of certain perks, such as taking extended lunches or breaks, leaving early with pay, or any other things. Now, the staffers interview and meet with many people throughout the week, so it is important for you to stay in contact with the staffer. The staffing agency is not obligated to place you in a position, so keep in mind that you will need to search for employment opportunities with other companies just because they have positions posted or available during the time of your interview. This could change for various reasons. Sometimes clients will close the job order or orders or decide to hold off on filling the order and will keep the order open. In other cases, the client may take a long time to select someone for the position. Always remain nice, professional, and courteous when dealing with the staffers because they are the individuals who will be working to get you placed, refer you to their coworkers, and to encourage the clients to take you on as an employee. Also remember, until you have been placed in a permanent position with the client, the staffer who is assigned to you will be your supervisor in addition to the person that you will be reporting to while on assignment at the work location. Be prepared to take a drug screen at any time. If you report in person to the agency, be mindful if you partake of certain activities that the smell of smoke or etc. can be noticeable. Additional information. Do not bring anyone with you to your interview. Do not chew gum during the interview. And if you are sick, be sure to reschedule the interview.